Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. So Tesla threw another bombshell, showing Tesla's full self-driving system can easily handle Europeans' narrow roads with thousands of bike and pedestrians, no problem. So Waymo's ex-CEO might think that Waymo's cost of their sensor is trivial, as he has said, but that is simply just not true, and I will show you this in this video. And Tesla is now doing something that Waymo can't. And I will also show you why Tesla's Cybercab's rate of production has made Waymo's Robotaxi completely and utterly irrelevant. And Tesla's system have now shown it can drive autonomously in all of the US, China and now also Europe. We are only waiting for regulatory approval, and that should come within a month or two through the RDV in the Netherlands, and the world is not ready for what is about to hit them. So let me show you why, and let's dive right in. So we just got a new video from Tesla showing off a Tesla driving itself in Amsterdam. Yes, for those who suffer from bad geography, Amsterdam is in the Netherlands and that would be Europe. So as Tesla wrote, full self-driving supervised in Europe pending regulatory approval. Yes, so Tesla is showing what we have been saying for so long, that Tesla's full self-driving system can drive everywhere. Tesla has created a general solution. And Amsterdam is of course the perfect place to test all of this out because of multiple reasons. Firstly, the Netherlands has a strong history of vehicles validation, meaning its approval for Tesla's full self-driving system could fast-track authorization across most EU countries due to the shared regulatory standards. But secondly, Tesla's full self-driving testing in Amsterdam is important because the city is known for its narrow roads and unpredictable cyclist, pedestrian, even tramps crossing the road. This is a very complex scene that it is driving in here, and you can see the system handle it flawlessly, highlighting the system's ability to handle complex European traffic conditions. Again, you can take a Waymo car from LA and put it here in the streets of Amsterdam, and it will not move. Waymo have to pre-map the whole city to be able to do this. But Tesla doesn't need to map anything. It will, in theory, be able to drive from the south tip of Europe to the north tip of Europe without mapping. You will be able to have your Tesla basically drive you everywhere you want to in Europe. Still supervised, of course, for now, and can still make mistakes, but it will be able to take you on a road trip around Europe, something Waymo will never, ever be able to do. It is simply too complex to map all of Europe, from the south tip of Spain to North Cape in Norway, and just a task to keep that map up to date. So I know Waymo's ex-CEO said that the cost of mapping is trivial, as well as their sensor including LiDAR was trivial on a cost per mile basis. But I would just like to show you guys that that is simply not true. So let me just pull off this little sheet here that I made as a copy of a sheet that AJ had made to show the cost of the vehicle. Though the car drives 350,000 miles in his lifetime, is still the biggest contributor to a Robotaxi's cost per mile. But with my little sheet here, I can change the cost of things to see what happened to the cost per mile. So Waymo's ex-CEO claims that the cost of Waymo's sensors is trivial. Well, let's just get the best indication we have of what it cost Waymo to fit its cars with all of its sensors like LiDAR, radar, ultrasonic sensors, and the whole computer that runs the whole thing. because ARK Invest has done research on this, and as they wrote in an article back in October of last year, Tesla has a clear path to scale its robotaxi fleet, while Waymo must rely on Zeekr. Based in China, Zeekr could face hefty US tariffs, which we now know they ended up getting, which may be why Waymo has entered another manufacturing relationship with Hyundai. ARK Invest estimates that Waymo's vehicle costs more than $100,000 to produce. Its sensor set alone $40,000 plus dollars, though it is working to reduce the cost. So if we put the best guess we have for Waymo's cost of its sensor set of $40,000 into this sheet, we can see that the cost per mile is about 11 cents. Sure, that might sound trivial, right? But when we look at the cost per mile combined with all the other stuff here in this sheet, we can see that the cost per mile for someone like Waymo would be at least 33 cents per mile. And remember, that is without a car. This is only the sensor set, no car. And as you can see, if we put in Tesla's cost of $15,000 to produce the Cybercab for themselves, the cost per mile for Tesla is 21 cents. So Tesla can put a whole Cybercab, including computers and cameras and everything they need, on the street and have the cost per mile that is cheaper than if Waymo only had to pay for its sensors. But then Waymo, of course, have to get a Hyundai Ioniq 5 that cost MSRP $45,000 in the US. So Waymo's true cost, including the car, as they don't manufacture any cars themselves, so they have to buy a car from a third party, which also need to earn money on this venture. So we are talking at about at least $84,000 for an EV with their sensor set. So then the cost per mile rose to 55 cents per mile, and that is what it's cost Waymo, and Tesla can sell it to their customers for 35 cents per mile with a 40% margin on it. So as you can see, there is no way that Waymo will be competitive on price. They are already losing money on their robotaxi business today, even though their rides cost like $2 to $3 per mile. So for them to be pushed to lower their prices by sevenfold to be even slightly competitive to Tesla's Cybercab is simply not going to work. Also because Tesla's Cybercab is designed for mass scale. I know the ex-CEO of Waymo don't think that a robotaxi should look like the Cybercab, but I think it's just because he simply don't get what the Cybercab is. It looks the way it does because it has been designed and engineered to be easy to manufacture completely, autonomously. So as Elon said, a Cybercab will come off the assembly line every 5 seconds. And then they don't need to put any sensor on it or do anything, not even calibrate it anymore, as the cars does that automatically today during the assembly, like we have seen in Fremont, where Tesla's cars come off the production line and drive themselves to the parking lot where they will go on a transporter. So let's just for fun say that, okay, Waymo will try to compete with Tesla to not lose Austin completely, because that's where Tesla will start, and Waymo has already robotaxis in that city. Well, to get a Hyundai from the closest factory in the US, that is in Alabama, it will take about 3 to 5 days to transport that car to a dealership in Austin. So let's just say 3 days from when it come off the production line until it is in Austin. And then Waymo has to put all of its sensors and computers into the car. I have no idea how long that takes per car, but let's just say a day. So it will take them about 4 days for Waymo to get a car on the street in Austin in the best case scenario. And that car will cost Waymo about $84,000 to put on the street. But Tesla has a Cybercab coming off the production line every 5 seconds in comparison. When fully ramped, of course, but this car are fully ready to go. So they will just drive off the assembly line and drive directly to Austin, which is a 20-minute drive. No human needed to transport that car to Austin, like Waymo have to pay a transporter to get it here. No human involved to produce the car. No human involved to adding sensors to the car. No human involved in the cybercab autonomously driving past the wireless charging station that might be in the parking garage at the Gigafactory in Austin. The car will handle all of that by itself. Waymo's cars need human employees to handle all of that, raising their price significantly from even this example I've used here. So in just the 4 days that it takes Waymo to get maybe 6-8 cars on the street that can fit a transporter from Alabama to Austin, well, 5 seconds for the cybercab, that is 12 a minute. It is 720 an hour. It's 17,280 in 24 hours. It is 69. Of course, it's 69,120 cybercabs being produced and developed in 4 days. Well, that is way more than Austin will need. Tesla will probably put like 15,000, maybe 20,000 to really saturate the market in Austin. Well, that is only going to be like 1 day worth of production for Tesla. They will completely outperform any other rideshare service in Austin. In cost, in speed of pickup, in just overall experience with the huge screen that is customized for each customer that enters the car through the Tesla app. And Waymo has not even got their cars to Austin from the Hyundai factory before Tesla can put like 15,000 cybercabs on the street. It will of course not happen this fast, as Tesla needs to ramp up production. But this is just such a good illustration of how quick Tesla is going to be able to move when fully ramped. No one else will be able to compete on cost, on scale, and on speed. So every 4 days, Tesla will put about 69,000 cybercabs on the street. And as soon as they are allowed to drive across state, Tesla will just have an army of 17,000 cybercabs every 24 hours driving to a new destination. So 17,000 cybercabs driving to Houston, 17,000 cybercabs driving to Dallas, 17,000 cybercabs driving to San Francisco, 17,000 cybercabs driving to LA, saturating one city at a time. And the cost per mile for the customer is going to be cheaper than what it will cost Waymo per mile just to operate the darn thing. And Tesla Cybercab will be able to come pick you up at your house no matter where you live. The Waymo taxi can't. The Cybercab will be able to drive over the Golden Gate Bridge and drive you to Sausalito or Oakland or to the Yosemite National Park. Waymo can't do any of this. They can only drive you around in downtown San Francisco, and that's it. There is no universe where Waymo is going to be competitive with Tesla Cybercab. Not on convenience, cost, speed, or entertainment. Nothing. Waymo has no edge over Tesla, other than they have been doing this for 7 years. Yes, and has been losing money all those 7 years. And that was before they had competition that Tesla is about to release. And now Tesla has shown us that their AI brain can also drive in China. And they have just shown another video showing that they can also drive in Amsterdam with the small streets and thousands of bikes and pedestrians and trams all over the place. Tesla's system can drive everywhere. And they are about to release full self-driving supervised to Europe, getting even more data. Another thing Waymo hardly gets compared to Tesla, and why I don't think Waymo will ever end up with a general solution, but will forever be bound to the geofenced areas, just like this chart from ARK Invest from last year shows. And Tesla has only accelerated from this, whereas Waymo has hardly moved. And I still believe that Tesla will start testing out cybercabs as soon as they get unsupervised approval for Austin. And then the days of Waymos are counted, if you ask me. It will all depend on how much money Google is willing to lose on this venture until they eventually give up. When Tesla, at some point in 2026, hit a production run rate of one cybercab coming off the assembly line every 5 seconds, meaning they produce enough to basically saturate most US cities in just 1 to 2 days of production. It's all over. No one will be able to compete with cost, the scale, the speed, and the complete integration of the Robotaxi system, from production to charging to software to app to automated cleaning stations. And we will get a glimpse of all of this within the next few months. And no one is ready for it, especially not here in Europe, where we have had the full self-driving system that has basically not got better over the last 6 years. Actually, because of new regulations, it actually got worse, as there were things it was no longer allowed to do, like taking the off-ramp from the highway. So it will come as a shock to the Europeans that suddenly Tesla's full self-driving system comes from a okay driver assist system to something that can drive you everywhere. But for now, you just have to keep an eye on it. Yeah, Europe and the world is not ready for what is about to hit them very, very soon. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.